People like Kid Cudi and Big Sean and like up and coming artists do original songs also on the mixtapes.
Yeah.
I remember first time playing for you and being and Crazed was in the DJ booth. It was Herb Magazine, really loved us, and I have one over here somewhere with you on the cover. And
Yes.
IRC was like the earliest one, and I was on the Neptune's fan channel, I guess forever. The one single was with Cool Kids and Lil Wayne, and then there's one with Wale, one with like Brother Ali, and then Atmosphere.
Hey there, it's me, Roxy Cottontail. You might know me as a DJ, artist, designer, and New York City party promoter, or from my bunny logo. I'm putting all that on the table and writing about the years that transformed music and the New York City scene. I've interviewed 250 friends and colleagues I admire. I ask all and reveal all. Please join me in the tales to rediscover the 90s and the Y2K magical landscape of music, art, technology, and streetwear. This is Roxy's Tales.
I am Ben, also known as Benzi. I'm a DJ, mixtape maker, now a record label A&R. I run a DJ service. Yeah, I do many things in the music business.
And you've always done that.
Yeah, I think I DJ'd like my high school prom, and then from there it was on.
My guest this week on Roxy's Tales is a visionary in music. His marketing chops are magic, and his acceleration of getting not just listeners, but the DJs our music propels us all forward. The one and only DJ Benzi. A genius in resourcefulness, Benzi first crushed the mixtape game in the Y2K era, then started a DJ service that still goes hard today. He makes mouth-watering moves for all music lovers. Benzi deserves praise and his origin story is applauded. I'm so proud to share the history of DJ Benzi, a person I not only respect, but fiend for what he'll do next. Without further ado, DJ Benzi.
Yeah, so I got the turntables. I was really bad, but I don't know why. I just saved up and bought them from like the back of the Source magazine. It was like $300. You get two. So yeah, I started DJing there, and then thought I was good, but I really was bad. And I went to college and just walked on campus like, I'll be your DJ to all the fraternities. And they were like, sure. And they had me basically DJ for free for a whole semester. And then we're like, yeah, we're not paying you. So I was like, all right, that's not a good thing. So I started doing more stuff online and met the Clips and met a bunch of people just all online doing mixtapes. And luckily someone really took off.
Well, yeah, what was your first mixtape?
I mean, so in, I guess, freshman year of college, I realized I could like cold call like Rick Ross's management or Ying Yang Twins management and just be like, hey, will you guys record a drop? And just hype up my resume. And that worked. So then I would have an intro from Rick Ross, and then I would parlay that into, well, I've already worked with Rick Ross and so and so. So it just kept snowballing. And so, yeah, then that led into me doing the whole remix album for the Clips, which was really good. And that won like Rolling Stones mixtape of the year, and it got a bunch of stuff. But it was mostly thanks to like having Diplo do a remix, and I think A-Trek did one, and yeah. But then that parlayed into doing one for Kanye, which was the biggest, and that did really well. And so through there, I got to like go to Australia, pretty much go all over and do shows based off the strength of that.
And so the mixtapes were getting traction. How?
So there at the time it was just such a big culture for it. There was like sites that sold the actual like CDs, like a site called like Mix Unit, or like just like live mixtapes, and like people would seek out these online exclusive mixtapes that like Lil Wayne and people did. And so yeah, but mine were different because I was just getting the acapellas from the artists and then remixing them, but I was still lumped into this like exclusivity of these big names. So yeah, we did have like people like Kid Cudi and Big Sean and like up and coming artists do original songs also on the mixtapes.
Mhm.
But yeah, people were just mixtape crazy then. It was the time.
Oh, yeah. Well, like big mixtape era, I think about DJ Drama going down.
Yeah, that was a huge moment. Yeah. So
Yeah.
at that time too, like I had finished school and then it was like, do I get a real job or whatever? And I realized I could take my mixtapes and then buy mixtapes from my friends or like people that like someone like DJ Drama and kind of sell them to uh like 7-Eleven type stores and put them on their counters. So we'd give them to them for like 250. They would sell them for like $5, something like that. And that business was crazy successful. And then a distributor came in and they're like, I'll do every 7-Eleven or whatever in the Midwest. And he's like, but I want 5,000 CDs this week. I want 10,000. And it just kept getting bigger and bigger. And then the DJ Drama thing happened and it scared a bunch of people.
Yeah.
I think it probably scared me. So yeah, I sold that business to a kid. Uh, and then eventually just, transitioned to just DJing myself and stuff like that. And then, yeah, then moved to New York and
Well,
on
you
and on.
also, in the midst of this, started a notorious DJ service and record pool.
Yeah. Yeah. So when it started, I just knew how to get stuff. Like even in high school, when the internet was really bad, I still knew how to like set my computer up overnight and download how many songs I needed or whatever. And so that progressed into just meeting different people and be able to get, and still to this day, like how I run my DJ service is a whole channel of people that help me acquire good stuff. And then yeah, it's a whole thing. But so I realized I had all this music and I would meet DJs, on the road, whatever, and they would need me music, but the internet just wasn't fast enough. So it was like, how do I get this to them? So my idea was to just make like DVDs with the with all the songs for that month. So like, those burn DVDs, they could have like, I don't know, 2 gigabytes or something like that of music. And so yeah, the business started. I was just mailing DVDs once a month to all these DJs. As I progressively got busier, a young kid reached out to me and was like, "Yo, this business looks really cool. I'll buy it from you." And he eventually became one of my good friends. His name is Donnie D Star. He goes by Long Story Short now, and he's doing really well in EDM. So he took that over for a while, but I still did all the music. So then a couple years went by, and I'm like, wait, the internet is faster now. We could do this properly on the internet. So I kind of joined back up with him, and I was like, yo, let's do this properly. And this was like my biggest mistake in life was I just got a website and said, hey, everybody, we're online now. And I didn't really think about like how much like data hosting and stuff cost. So like the first month was cool. And the second month, the internet provider, whoever they were, gave me a bill for like 12 grand for like using this much, so and so much bandwidth.
Wow.
And so I was like, holy fuck. And luckily I knew people from the mixtape days. And so live mixtapes, because they run this big server, because they have all these people downloading mixtapes and stuff, they were like, we'll host it on our servers. And so it became live DJ service, which to this day, it's still on their servers. So that gave us like a fully functional website. Anyone could download anything they want. And it's kind of blossoms from then.
And so tell
Yeah.
me about the beginning of that. What was the name of the service? What year did
It was like Benzi DJ service.
BDS,
And
I
then,
remember.
yeah, BDS. Yeah. I mean, for like name recognition, it should probably still be called something like that. But yeah, live DJ service is what it is. And, we still don't have like any social medias or anything. So it's still kind of low key. But yeah, now we have like set up things with like big, like DJ Snake, Marshmello, Diplo. A bunch of people give us exclusive songs where they come out. Now that I work at Dimmock, like if a Dimmock record's done, like 2 months in advance, we put on the DJ service. Like we just give as much stuff, with approval that we can to DJs way, way, way early.
When you started, what year did Benzi's DJ service start?
Maybe 2010, 9, something like that. Yeah, it's been a while. You can still access all the way, I think, back to like 2014 now on the site.
Wow.
Or maybe 13, and which is really cool because like trap music and that whole kind of thing started in 2013, or like Movementon started in 2012. So, and I, obviously hope to be on each trend as it happens. So it's almost like a catalog of the history of those kind of genres and stuff. It's the golden age of remixes and stuff now because just like we're doing a dim mock, like you can take a remix and you can, get through approval and put it on DSPs, or you could, so there's a proven track record of these artists who make bootlegs and stuff on SoundCloud and then pivot that right into real success and touring and stuff. So
Amazing. Discovering music, I mean, were you online, were you doing like online forums or message boards? What I know that you were on the holler board, but
yeah, I guess it would just be like I have this crazy archive of like if I find someone good on SoundCloud, I have this categorization system where it's like, okay, he's a good house artist, put him in my house, bookmark things. And now yeah, I spend a lot of time on SoundCloud. And then I have a team of kids that go, so okay, if I'm doing a house update, they go to each one of those SoundCloud pages I've bookmarked over how long and check if they've released anything new in the last like 2 months and then download it for me. So it's this kind of ever going system. Back in the day, I think it would be mostly, yeah, like Hollerboard because everyone who was good or,
I mean, you
you
were
know,
on more forums or chat rooms or you had to, I mean, I know AOL Messenger, but like
yeah.
what other ways were you communicating with people?
So like so IRC was like the earliest one, and I was on the Neptunes fan channel, I guess, forever. And that's how I met the people that linked me with the clips to do that mixtape, actually. And that's how I met Eccentric, who eventually became my partner in Twerk, the group we
Oh,
started.
amazing.
Yeah, so we're both like diehard Neptunes fans, like even in high school and stuff. So yeah, stuff I just can't remember. I guess, and then just like the blogs were so big, like Disco Bell, the Circle of Things was this big, and now it's you like I'll find stuff now and be like, holy shit, and then you'll find out, oh, this kid's like 16 years old, and this is the second song you've ever made, and you're like, this is way better than anything I've ever made. So
The mixtapes like that you had begun, that kind of stopped when the DJ service took off? Or I mean, I know
no, I mean, yeah, yeah, keeps going. So yeah, I have a series called Get Right Radio Summer Edition, and I've done that since 2009, I think. I think the first one was 2009, 2010 with Sean Kingston, which is funny. And yeah, I've still done that all the way to this year. I still have to do this year's summer. This summer was crazy. So, but yeah, and then Girl Trapz, like all those series continue. And they benefited greatly because I had a residency on Diplo and Friends on BBC. But like the collaboration stuff with rapper stuff, yeah, that kind of died out. I still get requests to do some once in a while, but yeah, because it did become flooded at a time where people thought, oh, the instant way to success in a rap career would to be get like, DJ Drama, but if he's not available, you get DJ Benzi to host your mixtape, and then you have this name recognition, and hopefully you can become a popular rapper. So I did a lot of those, and
Yeah.
a lot of them were bad. So yeah,
I know it's funny
I'm
that you say that because I was telling someone recently about all the people I've worked with and booked. They were like, gosh, like, was there any duds? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm just not telling you those stories.
right.
Yeah.
I remember first time playing for you and Crazed was in the DJ booth, and I was so nervous, and I probably was so bad. That was yeah, I still remember that day fondly. For
You
some reason,
feel?
Crazed just stood behind me. Yeah, I was like, why is the best DJ here and behind me?
Was it at Sway? It had to have
Yeah, it was that Sway. Yeah,
been. Wait, I'm gonna find it. Hold on. This.
yeah. Me and Jay, I
Hmm.
still play pickleball with him. Our
Oh,
buddies out here.
cute. I love that. When you played Sway this first time, we had
Yeah,
the same manager.
yeah. Peter Oasis. I saw we did this big Dimmock show in Pershing Square, downtown LA, like 2 weeks ago. And I was walking from our office back to the venue because I just DJ'd. I wanted to change my clothes. And this guy came up and he's like, I'm the photographer. And I was like, yeah. He's like, you don't remember me? I worked, I was Peter Oasis's main photographer. And I was like, oh, I haven't heard about my man in so long.
Was it
Yeah.
crunchy?
Yeah.
No
Must
way.
be.
Okay, tell me about your memories DJing at Sway.
I remember being nervous and thinking everyone was cool. And yeah. And playing weird Jersey Club remixes of 80s songs, I guess, is what we played.
I love
And
that.
yeah, somehow it worked. But no, that was I remember that, and also, in New York, and after moving to New York, realizing that everywhere you go, one thing's gonna work. Like it'll be either this turntable will work or the mix, you know what I mean? Or just the mixer will work. Or yeah,
Yeah.
that's the New York club method.
The DJ booth at Sway was notoriously insane. So that's valid. And then there was another
Nice.
time with Jonas too.
And that night was crazy because I he obviously knew a bunch of people. So like before we went there, we went and met like Ryan Leslie, who was I was obsessed with him at the time. And yeah, it was like that New York experience of never being to New York in this context and being like, we're gonna go to this show, this show, this show, meet this person. And I was like, yes, this is what I need to be doing.
Yeah.
And then obviously then going back to Ann Arbor or where I was in Michigan and being like, yeah, I gotta get my ass back to New York.
Here's us. Okay, so this is funny because you're now working at DimMac, and
Yeah.
this is us doing DimMac. Oh, this was in Orange County? Oh, I thought this was like a DimMac Tuesday, but you mean
Wait,
Paige.
this is Orange County, California.
Yeah. I thought this was like a DimMac
Hmm.
Tuesday or Banana Split. But what are some other kind of standout moments of this era for you? Like with whether it's, your DJ service, a mixtape, or an event.
No, I mean that whole time where, you know, you had the accessibility of people who are just as passionate, like, obviously Nick Catch Dubs is kind of the ringleader or the big brain of the whole crew, and me making like a terrible mashup and then him giving me the time to be like, yeah, this could be better. Or because at the time I didn't know like keys, so I'd just take two songs, put them together, and once in a blue moon they would be in the same key and it would actually be good. And then him being like, yeah, this one's really good, and being like, that kind of encouragement and stuff was pretty invaluable. But yeah, and just kind of seeing, things become bigger than this little bubble, like a certain thing would be in like a Scion commercial, or, you know what I mean? Like this whole like branching out of like the culture of stuff. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. And then obviously, for some reason, Herb magazine, or was it not Fader? It was Herb magazine. Really loved us, and I have one over here somewhere with you on the cover. And
Yes.
yeah, because my mom has this like archive, and yeah, that was the only. It would be like Foster Thomas on the cover with like my name somewhere. How did we get? Why did they like us so much?
Raymond Roker. Yeah, he was
Let's go.
the editor or the publisher. I can't recall what his title was, or owner. Um,
Right.
but he was tapped in. I mean, that cover was the cool kids on one side and I was on the other side.
There you go. Yeah. And the Cool Kids are another story that's amazing. Through like Lil Wayne and stuff, I signed a deal with a label called Amalgam Records, and they wanted to make me like the EDM version of DJ Khaled, basically, right? And I made a whole album. Like I have one single was with Cool Kids and Lil Wayne, and then there's one with Wale, one with like Brother Ali, and then Atmosphere,
Yeah.
one with Mac Miller. Yeah.
Whoa.
So it was this whole thing, but obviously that never came out. But so we eventually leaked the Cool Kids and Lil Wayne song, and it's probably my favorite song I've ever been involved in. It's on YouTube. My name's not on YouTube, which is fine. It says, I think it just says Lil Wayne Cool Kids. But yeah, it's my favorite. It's called Getting It. It's the best song. So yeah, it was interesting to see yeah, things like branch out from that bubble into kind of like more of a wide mainstream, somewhat.
I mean, you have always been the GOAT, I believe. From having the ear to do the mixtapes, then to parlaying
Yeah,
that into a DJ service. And I just have always respected the shit out of you.
I think once I got my degree and stuff, and I had like two job interviews, and I was like, I don't want to do this. And I remember like the second one, I just told them straightforward, I'm like, hey, with all respect, I'm just not coming to this job interview. And from like that moment, I was like, yo, I got to make this shit work. And so it's kind of like, how do you actually make this shit work? So I've been obviously really lucky. And then just kind of, yeah, like to this day, it's crazy. Like I'll meet young kids who reach out to me and be like, yo, I want to help you, blah, 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 blah. And then they turn out to be the kids that pop off later. You know what I mean? So it is kind of like when people are hungry, they somehow find a way to succeed.
Yeah. Which is why you said you're lucky. I know that you work really hard. So
Yeah.
there's also
But
that.
no, I think like, without like the clips thing, without being in the chat room where the guy from the team goes into the chat room and says, "Hey, we're going to make a mixtape. Who would be the best one to do it?" And they say, "Oh, this Benzi guy's good." You know what I mean? Without that happening, the
Yeah.
kind of ball really doesn't roll. But yeah,
So what were
it's
some of
like
the other brands? Like, was there, I know you probably love Turntable Lab as much as I do, but are there
yes,
any, and you mentioned Scion, and I know you mentioned Nick Catch Dubs to me, like,
yes.
but are there any others that really were like standout influences for you?
Is Nick Catch Dubs a brand?
I consider him a brand. I mean, he made my logo.
There. Oh yeah, and he made my logo.
Did he? Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Or he made all the first four mixtape covers.
Oh,
And
okay.
then he's like, I'm a little busy. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
My favorite brand that's branched out of our thing is them jeans is the
Oh,
best
yeah.
podcast.
I
and
love
and
that.
yeah, it's crazy. And also like going from, when they had the Dim Mak Studios club in LA, and he would be the resident there, and to now this like man of fashion and like top 20 podcast is pretty crazy. And also like like the holotronic mixtapes and stuff, like showing kids nowadays who, hold, Diplo, Skrillex, these people to these higher things, and then showing them like early day stuff and being like, look, they were just doing mashups,
Yeah.
which you can make now. Like, there's a way to like, you don't have to be the greatest producer and collab with Justin Bieber. Like, just make stuff that's unique and put weird, Texas rap songs with, 90s weird Britney Spears instrumentals and come up with stuff that people like. And there's a way to crack into any of this. So I use that example a lot to show people.
Yeah,
But
those
yeah,
early
it's just,
electronics mixtapes are my favorites.
and yeah, Wes is, like the favela on blast stuff, which is crazy. I actually used that as a cover on the live DJ service last week because
Oh,
like Bali Funk is just so big now, and you can literally play Bali Funk in a mainstream nightclub. Like if it's the right, like there's this one T-Pain Bali Funk remix that just you could play it to, the basic of Becky's in Las Vegas or wherever, and it will go off.
well, I am really impressed with all that you've done. And how long have you been at DimMac now?
I guess a year and a half. And yeah, we've done some cool things. And then when holes come up in the schedule, oh, I got a really good song. So yeah, so next week my single comes out. I guess it's my third single on Dimmock, and it's
Oh,
fun. It's like a straight up like old school Flume kind of song. Like if Flume was making music that he used to, because that was my favorite kind of music was like old Flume future bass shit. So yeah, it's cool.
exciting.
A bunch of cool stuff. And having Steve Aoki as you know, the icon of the brand doesn't hurt because he can, do a lot of stuff.
all those amazing parties in LA with him. I
Yeah.
believe the amount of success both he and Diplo have achieved because I don't think I had the vision for what they were doing, or even they did at the time, but it just ran in tandem with what was happening to the world of technology and
Yeah.
tech. So
Yeah. And so last year we found out that the venue that they used to do Dim Mak Tuesdays at was I forget the name. It was rebranded to something, but it was still operating somewhat in the same context. But we did like a relaunch of Dim Mak Tuesdays, and we had Bloody Beetroots play the first one, and we had a lot of the old residents from Dim Mak Tuesdays come out, and the songs, everything was Blog House, and
of course,
the sound system sucked because Bloody Beetroots maxed it out, so it sounded like it used to. So yeah, it was pretty wild.
I love that.
That Hologronics, that poster behind you is like one of the first. That's the Philly show, or
No,
no?
this is this one was the first one I did in New York. It was
Nice.
November 2003. That was like the first event I ever produced where I brought in a
Yeah,
sound system, a door person, paid for security.
and that's a good group to book. Who they're probably going to become big.
Yeah, and Tim Sweeney is on there too.
Nice.
And MC Lix. I know. That definitely was a good one.
I'm proud of you. This is dope.
Thank
Let's
you.
go. I'll talk to you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for hopping by. That's it for this week. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and stalk. Bounce, little kitty.